Good evening and thank you for joining me tonight. I'm Connor Steffen, coming to you remotely from my home in downtown Kent. Now, while TV2 can't be in the studio, we are still dedicated to bringing you your top headlines for December 10th. Welcome to TV2 Online.
Today's advisory system update, we have 5 counties continuing at purple. Those counties are Medina, Portage, Richland, Stark, and Summit.
And right there you just heard Governor DeWine confirming that Portage County as well as neighboring counties will remain at a level 4 purple designation. That's why earlier today DeWine announced he will be extending Ohio's statewide curfew until January 2nd. The state also providing updated COVID-19 numbers for Ohio today, reporting over 11,000 new cases and 111 deaths in the past 24 hours. And now on to what some doctors are calling Zoom fatigue. Whether it's staring at a screen all day or only getting to socialize via technology, it's a problem many college students currently face. TV2's Gianna DaPra spoke with a Cleveland Clinic expert on the matter in an interview you'll only see right here on TV2 News.
Can you hear me?
Wait, I don't know if your mic's on. I can't hear you.
I think we can all say by now Zoom meetings are a common aspect in our day-to-day lives. But the more we Zoom, the higher chance we run into what's called Zoom fatigue.
Zoom fatigue is what people are experiencing by having to connect with others. You are not physically engaged in a room with people. So connecting with people and feeling connected, feeling heard, feeling understood is uncertain.
That feeling of stress, tiredness, and exhaustion are all a part of Zoom fatigue. Even looking at yourself on camera while talking is another added stress, causing people to go to blank or black screens.
While you're on a digital platform like that, you may also be trying to do other things. You're texting a colleague about something or you're looking at emails. You're trying to multitask. And when you do that, nobody benefits. You're less effective.
So you lose that emotion of interaction or the adrenaline of having that in-person professional meeting, which is all done in the comfort of your own home. So that added stress of interruptions is bound to happen at some point.
But the truth is, we do act the way we're dressed. So how many times are we in a nice shirt or jacket and pajama bottoms? It's a mixed energy message to ourselves. We may be part of not mentally or intellectually being fully engaged.
So overcoming these uncertainties and stresses and exhaustions can be done every day and maybe even with a laugh.
I think people need to have a sense of humor about it all. If you get knocked off of the platform and can't get back on or something isn't working quite right, can you laugh about it?
But after you laugh it off
and take breaks. You need that break to disconnect, to digest what was said in another meeting, make some notes that you need to make, get a drink of water, get something to eat healthy food so that you actually are fueling your body-mind to do good work.
Rest, recovery, and re-energize. The 3 R's Jane says will fix this Zoom fatigue. Reporting for TV2 in Kent, I'm Gianna DaPra.
And taking place just this evening, FDA advisors recommending to the agency that they grant emergency use authorization to Pfizer and BioNTech's coronavirus vaccine. Now, that vote doesn't mean that the vaccine will be authorized immediately. The FDA will now have to decide whether to accept the recommendation. The vote will then go to the CDC, where they must decide whether they will recommend that the vaccine be deployed. And in other COVID-related news, the rental giant Airbnb is banning all one-night reservations this upcoming New Year's Eve in an attempt to stop large gatherings from taking place. And a notable Clevelander made national headlines this week when President-elect Joe Biden announced Marcia Fudge for Secretary of Housing and Urban Development. Fudge has represented Ohio's 11th district in the House since 2008. She's the second African-American cabinet member Biden has picked in the past 2 days, and if confirmed by the Senate, Fudge would join the first Black Secretary of Defense in Joe Biden's effort to form an administration that he says should look like America. Now, moving to the state capitol, where details are surfacing this evening following the shooting death of 23-year-old Casey Goodson. Goodson was shot by a Franklin County Sheriff's deputy. The FBI and Justice Department are now getting involved in the investigation, as the 23-year-old's death has sparked an outcry across the nation, many calling for 17-year veteran officer James Meade to be prosecuted. According to Goodson's family, the 23-year-old was shot in the chest while in the doorway of his grandmother's home. Now, while Deputy James Meade alleged he saw Goodson brandish a weapon, his family says he was only carrying a sandwich on his way home from a dentist appointment. The incident is still under investigation. Kent State University is making efforts to combat racism right here on campus, proposing the launch of the Anti-Racism and Equity Institute come the fall of 2021. Kent's campus was no stranger to hate this past semester, as some took to the front campus rock, displaying messages of hate which resulted in better security, lighting, cameras, and now the Racism and Equity Institute. The university says the launch will address racial inequities systematically impacting Black, Indigenous, Latinx, and people of color. The Institute's steering committee will re-meet next semester to further development plans.
And now, your TV2 Sports Report.
Hi, welcome to Thursday Night Sports. My name is Ian Herrmann. We will pick up tonight's action with a recap of the women's basketball game last night. The Kent State women's basketball team traveled to Loretta, Pennsylvania to take on St. Francis University. The Flashes fell short 67-64. St. Francis picked up its first win of the season, while the Flashes fall to 0-2. Lindsay Thal led all scorers with 17 points. Nyla Blackford was second on the team with 13. Mariah Modkins had 9. And Lindsay Marchese and Annie Pavlansky had 7. The Flashes will host Ohio University tomorrow at 2 p.m. A former Golden Flash has earned a spot with the Miami Dolphins. Nate Holley has been activated to the active roster for this game against the Chiefs this Sunday. Last week, Holley logged 11 special team snaps in his first NFL game. The defensive back has proved himself before, as he was the Canadian Football League's most outstanding rookie in 2019. In college, he logged over 400 tackles in 43 games, while also being named first-team All-MAC in 2014 and 15. Staying in the NFL, the red-hot New England Patriots will travel to LA to take on the Rams. The Patriots will look to Cam Newton and their defense that just came out a blowout win over the Chargers 45-0. The Rams will also look at their defense that allows the fewest passing yards per game and the second fewest total yards per game. The Patriots are on fire, but I think the Rams defense will be too much for Cam to handle. Rams win 27-14. That is all we have for sports for today. I'm Ian Herrmann. Back to Connor for more news.
Ian, thank you for that report. And now a look at the weather. The outlook for the weekend is a bit gloomy. You can see Friday, not too bad of temperatures, a high of 55 degrees, partly cloudy, but then you get to Saturday, you get some of the rain, and then you go to Sunday, the rain stops, but then the temperatures plummet. We're getting into that winter season, and going into next week, a little bit more of the same, temperatures in the low 30s. And that'll do it for tonight, the last Thursday edition of TV2 Online. You can join us one more time tomorrow evening. As always, it's a pleasure, whether it's in the studio or online. I'll see you guys next semester. I'm Connor Steffen. Have a great night and a great break.